Hey everybody, it's Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician, and what we're looking at is a starter that I just pulled off of a 1991 Mazda 626. Okay, and I'm going to tell you, I went against factory procedure on this one because there's so much snow on the ground. I don't want to show you how I did that. Okay, so what I did here, factory procedure has you goes ahead and tells you to remove the breather and the filter and the tube and all that stuff, whatever you want to call it, air breather, air filter casing. Yeah, so everything up here, go ahead and remove and get that out of the way. You're gonna have a 10mm bolt you need to remove here. You're gonna have a 10mm bolt that you need to remove here, and you're also gonna have to remove a 10mm bolt off of this stud here to go ahead and get all this out. Once you have all this out, you can then get access to your starter, which is right down inside of there. Okay, and you're gonna have two 14mm bolts on this side to take off, and you'll also be able to get down in here and get your main cable off and your little cable off as well. All right, so you can do all that from right here. Now then, factory procedure tells you to go ahead and jack the car up like I have it, okay, and tells you to go underneath, and it tells you to remove the bracket for the upper intake and then remove the lower bolt for the starter, the lower mounting bolt. I have found out that you don't have to do that. I was able to go ahead and get in here with a adjusting wrench, also a ratcheting wrench, and I was able to get the bottom mount bolt off, which is a 14mm. And then what I did was I put a oil pan down there and I took my oil filter off. Okay, and once I had my oil filter out of the way, this starter basically sits down in there like this, all right, underneath all of this. And you've got an oil filter here and you've got the main bracket here, so that's why you can't move it out and get it out, and the oil filter blocks it, so you can't push it to get the clearance that you need to get it out. So that's why they tell you to ultimately go underneath. But what I did was I just removed the oil filter, and that gave me enough room that I needed to push the starter out and then jimmy it out from the top, and it should go back in fairly easy the same way, so that way I can keep myself from laying in the snow. So there you go, folks. That is how you swap out the starter on a Mazda 626. This is a 90 to 91. 92 maybe a little bit different and on up, but on the 91 you don't necessarily have to go underneath if you don't want to. So let's just review one more time. Go ahead and disconnect your battery. Take apart your air filter, your map sensor, all that. Take all that out. You're gonna have a couple 10mm bolts to deal with to get that out without breaking anything. And then from there you'll have access down in here to your starter. You'll have two 14mm bolts here, and then down on this side with a ratcheting wrench you can get your bottom 14mm mounting bolt out. Go ahead and use a 12mm wrench to get your main battery cable off and disconnect your other small cable. And then you're going to come over to passenger side. You're going to reach down, you're going to take your oil filter out, and then that'll give you the clearance that you need to go ahead and slide your starter on out. So there you go, folks. I hope the video was good. I appreciate all of my subscribers and everybody that watches and supports me. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. This is Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician, signing off.